And we say good morning to you. We're broadcasting live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City for the second time this week. We're here on Monday and back today on our typical Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll be at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Friday we'll be at Volunteer Parkway in Bristol. Getting ready for the weekend. They got a big 3-day sale came out today. We'll tell you all about that. So we'll be there at Rick Miller's store on Friday, broadcasting live with the 3-day sale. Runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We say good morning to him. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Today certainly no different. And so today's verse, very simple. On the 4th day of April 2018. Again, our show is number 722. And here is I did that one yesterday. Here's the verse. I must have skipped one. Did I? I don't know. Let's do, out of the book of Psalms, it says, I am your hiding place. I will protect you from trouble, surround you with songs of deliverance. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you and watch over you. Rejoice in me. And again, that's the verse of the day. Again, from Psalms 32, verses 7 to 11 here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. 722 is the show. We've got guests on up ready to go today from Jeremy Livis. He's going to stop by from Movement Mortgage. Going to give us an update on the NBA, winding things down. LeBron did it again last night. Set another record. This guy's a definite Hall of Famer. He may end up being the all-time leading scorer and the greatest player in the history of the game. He's got a ways to go, but he has made his mark again last night, eclipsed another record. This one set by Kobe Bryant. And so we'll hear from Jeremy Livesey talking about the NBA coming up here in a few minutes. Greg Sager, top of the hour. Of course, our Major League Baseball update every Wednesday. Very thorough. And, of course, all eyes for us here in the Tri-Cities should be today in Detroit. Daniel Norris on the mound for the Tigers today, taking on the Kansas City Royals. And so we hope for his season debut, his opening pitching assignment. We hope for great things from Dino, as he's called. And so we look forward to seeing how he goes on the 110 first pitch. We'll obviously know tomorrow how that goes for Dino. Also, we'll be joined by Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News, and kind of run down through some different sports topics. And we always love to have the guys on for the paper, whether it's Birchfield or Fritz or Avento or the News and Neighbor. Tomorrow will be with our buddy Dave Angie, but today it's Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. So we're here, we're ready to go, loaded for bear. We're excited about being here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Frosted Sunrise, if you haven't had it, you got to come by here and check it out. 390 calories, less calories than a milkshake. Good stuff. And so you can get one. It's the world famous Chick-fil-A vanilla ice cream whipped in with some simply orange juice. And it's awesome. If you like the frosted lemonade, I think you'll love the Frosted Sunrise. It's for a limited time only. And then the peach milkshake comes out a little bit later on in the spring. But right now it's the Frosted Sunrise, and it is awesome. Also, breakfast is wrapped up for the day, but the chicken minis, grab them and go. Looking at the menu board over there, the chicken minis are awesome. And so those are available during the breakfast time at Chick-fil-A. And so we would encourage you that or the breakfast in the bowl. But since we've switched out and we're into lunch now, one of the sandwiches you certainly want to consider is the Grill Club awesome sandwich at Chick-fil-A. And we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while. So tomorrow will be at Bristol Motor Speedway, Friday Food City Volunteer Parkway. So we get ever so closer to go racing. And again, your chance to get qualified for tickets coming up right now, anytime, quite frankly. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We'll announce the winners coming up on Monday via email. Need your first name, last name, town you're from, and of course your email address so we can get them to you or notify you you've won. We'll leave them in the will call window at Bristol Motor Speedway, the ticket office. The Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 and the Zombie Auto 150 next Sunday a week. The Food City 500, multiple winners for each race. All you have to do is go right here, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Enter to win. Good luck. Again, 12 states are in the running now. We love it. So all the way from California to right here in Tennessee. So again, good luck and hope that you're one of the folks the computer spits out and says you're a winner chicken dinner to go to the world's last great Coliseum next weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. Quick break, brand new sponsor on board. We're excited about it. Here's Jeff Bingham from Bingham & Hensley, B&H Wealth Strategies. He's up next and up first. And coming up after that, we will take a look at the NBA, take a look at the National Hockey League. Got some college football news for you. All that straight ahead right after this first break. We're live at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 722 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And one of our great sponsors, again, is B&H Wealth Strategy. With me is the president, Jeff Bingham. Let me go ahead and read the official tag to get it started. Securities and registered investment advisory services offered through Silver Oak Securities Incorporated, member of FINRA SIPC. B&H Wealth Strategies and Silver Oak Securities are not affiliated. We are affiliated with this man right here, the president of B&H Wealth Strategies, Jeff Bingham. And so, hello, my good friend. How are you?
I'm very well, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So tell us again. Glad to have you on board as a sponsor. We love it. And tell folks out there what B&H Wealth Strategies is all about.
Well, I think to start with, we would talk about the fact that we are now 52 years old, that we're the oldest financial planning firm of its kind in Upper East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. And that alone is, I think, speaks volumes about us. I mean, we've been successful over long periods of time. Our staff on hand here has, my 3 staff members have been with me 17, 20, and 21 years, I think it is now. So what that means is that obviously we've got longevity and consistency and the comfort that our clients really desire. And everything that we do, a lot of people will talk about wealth advisory businesses or brokerage businesses or financial planners, whatever term you want to apply to that, and kind of throw us all into the same bucket. That we're all the same. And I certainly would argue that we are not all the same, and that we are not like anybody else that's out there, not just because of the time that we've been around, although I think that is a very big differentiator, but it's the experience that we try to create, something that we call our 4 seasons experience. And from the moment that you pull into our parking lot to the time you come in and visit with us, we don't have meetings, we have visits. We're in a house that's been redone, so we really try to get everybody very comfortable. You come through the back door, through our kitchen. We've got clients that have been with us for 25, 30, 40 years now that come in, find their own Coke, coffee, or personalized bottled water, if you will, that we have here that's customized for us. And sometimes they don't even come in to see me. They just come in to visit with staff, or they come in to walk or park their car and walk down to John Sevier and walk the track in the flat neighborhood that's around here. So we really, I think what we've been able to do in doing something that is very personal and difficult to talk about money, and it is very important, and we are very good, in my opinion, at managing the money part of it, but we're really managing the entire lifestyle for folks. And part of that lifestyle is what we try to create here, and that comfort level of doing it. And I think it makes us worldly different than everybody else that's out there.
Yep, and you do it well. We'll get his website in a second. 247-1152 is the phone number. They're located on Center Street here in Kingsport, right across from Mayfair United Methodist Church. There is a website. We go there. What will we find?
When you go to our website, you're going to find out, you really get some insight into who we are. In today's world, we talk about making first appearances, right? And what we've created here in this building, it used to be the first appearance, right? You have one chance to make a first appearance, right? And that's a little different now. I mean, it is important, and you see us on the corner here of Center Lamont, and we think that appearance and what you see there looks good. Like I said, we're not overstated by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, we try to be what we are, which is
we is who we is.
We is who we is. This is not
exactly.
This is not a place we're not ornate. You don't come in and see mahogany desks and Oriental rugs. You come in and you see a house. I mean, you come in through our kitchen. You come in through our reception area, which is which isn't really fancy. It's just comfortable. And then you come into our living room where you wait. And then you come into this room where we're actually sitting this morning, which we would call a conference room, but it really is it's the den. If you sit in here, you're in our den. You've got a fireplace over here, and you can sit down and kind of relax your guard to do that. So again, every little detail we try to attend to and going through that to make our clients and prospective clients comfortable when they come in. And the website is really just a mirror of that right there. We try to obviously have our information that's out there, but it really is just that window into what you see once you come in here, because that's the way of the world today. And I'm kind of going kicking and screaming into that world. I'm old school. I was taught by my dad, who was, we did it on a yellow pad with a pen, and it was pen and paper and a calculator. And I'm still that way, really, to a degree. But I understand the use of technology, and it really has made our lives and our clients' lives much better because of the tool set that we have to do that with. But at the end of the day, all the technology, the website, the Facebook that we're working on here, Twitter, blogs, all of that stuff. Like I said, it's still kind of foreign to me. I do it, but I've got people that help me do it, thank goodness, because I'm really not very good at doing much of anything other than this right here, which is talking to folks and listening to folks and trying to solve problems. And that's really what the website is, and that's what you'll find.
Yep. bhretire.com is the website, by the way. And this is our good friend, and glad to have him on board, Jeff Bingham from B&H Wealth Strategies, the president, as you heard about it right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Appreciate again our new sponsor, good man right there, Jeff Bingham from Bingham & Hensley, B&H Wealth Strategies. Good morning to Donna Bryant. Hello to Bill Patrick. Hello to David Strickland, soccer coach and Tri-Cities Otter coach. Got to get him back on the show. So what's going on with the Otters and with Science Hill Soccer. Also Renee McNeil and the folks. So here is the list of what we have so far of all the qualifiers to win tickets to Bristol Motor Speedway. We've got them in Tennessee, Ohio, Kentucky. I love running down these names. Let's see where some of these places are. We've got qualifiers so far to win tickets on Monday from Bluff City, Liberty, South Carolina, Kingsport, Greenville, Warren, Ohio, Morristown, Tennessee, Bluntville, Ashford, Alabama, Lancaster, South Carolina. Also, we got qualifiers from Plain City, Ohio, Orange Park, Florida, Splendora, Texas. Let's see, Harrogate, Tennessee, Elizabethton, Tennessee, Liberty, South Carolina, North Ridgeville, Ohio, Elk Grove, California, Corbin, Kentucky, Williamsburg, Kentucky, Ephrata. I'm not sure I've ever said that right. E-P-H-R-I-A-T-A. Ephrata, Pennsylvania, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hello, Gary Taylor. Watching, my friend. Thank you. And so those are some of the folks that got qualified. All you got to do, again, as we've told you, we're going to give them away on Monday. The push is on. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. First name, last name, email address, and where you're from. That's all we want. We will not sell them out to a marketing firm. I want you to know that. Somebody asked me that a couple of weeks ago and said, nope, I don't do that. I wouldn't want that done to me. I'm not going to do it to you. So there you go. Let's get it started. College football. When I was very young, there was a song called Money for Nothing by a band called Dire Straits. Like the song. Music video for the song is probably the most 1980s thing that ever existed. Anyway, check it out for yourself. But couldn't help but think of the song when Michigan announces they're going to sever the ties from Virginia Tech to pay $375,000 to get out of the home-and-home series the school had scheduled in 2020 and 2021. So Michigan says we're going to pay you $375,000 to get out of the home-and-away series with Virginia Tech. The series was announced back in 2013. Would have been the first time the two schools had ever played during the regular season. Michigan replacing Virginia Tech with a powerhouse, Arkansas State. Way to go, Harbaugh. That's good. Replacing the Hokies with Arkansas State. There you go. Let's see. Virginia Tech, meanwhile, they have non-conference games against Penn State, Liberty, and East Carolina for 2020 with an open slot to fill now. Hey, who's to say they won't end up at Bristol Motor Speedway in the ball game? There's one on the horizon that's just not been announced yet who it's going to be, but they are diligently working behind the scenes to get another game set for Bristol Motor Speedway. University of Idaho's athletic director Rob Spear has been placed on administrative leave amidst an investigation there into the university's leadership and its handling of a botched sexual assault complaint. Comes after Spears and Vandals football coach Paul Petrino became the subject of a student legislative body resolution requesting a study of the athletic department's culture at the University of Idaho. All this comes from a problem a couple of years back from the diver on the swim team, Marion Jamison, who says she was sexually assaulted by then wide receiver Shari Level. Maggie Miller, long-distance runner, also made multiple claims to the police department and school athletic department officials that she was harassed by Level. Nothing was ever done, and so as a result, Level was removed from the team in the weeks after the accusation of assault. It wasn't his first off-field incident, and so now they're calling for the heads of the football athletic director and maybe the football coach as well at the University of Idaho. What else happening in college football? Again, back on the field, obviously, a little closer to home. East Tennessee State, Randy Sanders, of course, still suspended. Wide receivers coach Mike Rader in charge of the offense in practice and the spring game, which will be coming up tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at William Green Stadium. Sanders is out. Offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield left the program this week. offense is in the hands of wide receivers coach Mike Rader, former head coach at Maryville College. So he's certainly no stranger to what's going on, and he can handle it and do a good job at it. So he is. In fact, some folks have kind of wanted to know why he wasn't named the head coach. He and or Billy Taylor. So we'll see how it rolls. But again, still suspended Randy Sanders for the blue gold game. Now, does he get to, Mr. Birchfield, does he get to watch tomorrow night? Has he got to stay completely away, or what are the rules on that one? Said owner Tim Birchfield sitting there hanging out with me this morning. So we were talking off air what was going to happen, and does the coach, if you get tossed from a baseball game, you got to leave the facility or at least get off the playing field. So is he allowed to be, as a suspended head coach, to be up in the stands or in the press box taking notes, or I'm sure it's going to be live streamed. He can sit somewhere off property and watch it via live stream, Facebook, whatever. But anyway, that's a good question. I don't know whether he's allowed to be around or not. So anyway, that's what's going on there. We have a high school basketball coach stepping away from the program. We'll tell you about that coming up a little bit later in the show. Also at the bottom of the hour, talk a little NBA with Jeremy Livesey's due to be with us. Speaking of the NBA, LeBron James this season's been full of falling records. Just about every week he's doing something new to improve on his individual legacy, whether it's passing Michael Jordan for most consecutive games with 10 or more points, putting up a stat line that's never been seen before. James has done it all. Well, last night he hits another accomplishment. LeBron James passing longtime rival Kobe Bryant. James reached the 20-point mark for the 942nd time in his career. That's incredible. Puts him past Bryant, third on the list for career 20-point games. So LeBron James has scored at least 20 points in 942 games. I mean, the guy's the real deal. Say what you want, he can play. MVP candidate this year? Absolutely. Probably him and James Harden from the Houston Rockets. So we'll let Jeremy weigh in on about that when he gets in here in just a little while. We're here live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again, lunch is up and running, so you can't go wrong with the nuggets and the strips, of course. And what's your favorite sandwich? What sandwich you like when you get?
Original.
The original chicken sandwich? I love this guy. It doesn't get any better than that. The original chicken sandwich coming from the owner of the said establishment. So there you go. And that is?
The original one from here.
From here? That's it. The original one from here. All right. You a golfer? Who's going to win the Masters?
If I have to. I'll tell you who I don't. I don't think Tiger. I don't know Tiger.
Okay.
I don't think he finished second.
Yeah. Just don't want him to win. All right.
Who's going to win?
I don't know. I got the sheet here. We've got some of the folks that follow golf say here's who they feel like is going to win. Ricky Fowler's an 18-1 odds. Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, Dustin Johnson, Paul Casey. Of course, they tee it off tomorrow. Phil Mickelson, Fred Couples. Somebody's thrown it in. He in as a dark horse. Rory McIlroy. Let me see who else. Justin Thomas, 10-1 odds. This gentleman says 10-1 odds that Justin Thomas can win it. Rory McIlroy. Jordan Spieth, Phil Mickelson starts tomorrow, of course. Ricky Fowler, Justin Rose. You got to throw Tiger into the fray, although some folks aren't enamored with what he's doing and they really don't want him to win. So I'm glad. But I will say this: I read this morning where ticket prices and ticket demands for the Masters since Tiger's back is out the roof. I mean, it's off the radar screen. This guy, say what you want, he has rejuvenated the golf game, the PGA Tour. I mean, it's good. It's had good crowds, but with Tiger on board, man, they're going nuts trying to get tickets to get in to see the Masters in Augusta that starts tomorrow. So anyway, those are some of the folks. We'll keep you posted tomorrow and, of course, Friday into the second round. But again, some of the names we're talking about, Ricky Fowler, Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, Dustin Johnson, Paul Casey, Patrick Cantlay, if I'm saying that right, Phil Mickelson, Jordan Spieth, Fred Couples, Tiger Woods, some of the folks they've thrown into the fray to win the Masters starting tomorrow at Augusta. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We are live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. And we have information for not this Friday, but next Friday, Food City Family Race Night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Admission is free. Of course, you get a chance to get up there and meet with the drivers in turn 4 in the hospitality area of the track. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Truex, Daniel Hemmerich's going to be there. Harrison Burton, Matt Tiff, Ryan Reed. They continue to add drivers. Some of the guys in the Kingsport Speedway crowd and family, Chris Van Dyke, Brett Baer, Dylan Hodge, Jay Swecker, William Hale, some of the folks. They're going to be up there with their show, with their cars. All kinds of cool stuff going on. There'll be entertainment on the Coke stage. Again, Bristol Motor Speedway now a Coca-Cola track. It was Pepsi. It's been converted over to Coca-Cola. Hello, Thomas Dillard. Good morning, sir. He has a young man who can play baseball at Elizabethton. Big time. Cyclones got a big win last night in 5, 13-3 over Happy Valley. Moving up, we'll talk about baseball and softball here in a few minutes. Run it down for you. Big day yesterday and soccer. And so we'll let you know how the baseball and softball's doing. And Science Hill continues to win. It was a big win yesterday for Elizabeth, and they swept Happy Valley in the regular season series at home and away, new format. And so a big win last night for the Cyclones. We'll tell you all about that. And Carson Dillard, a young man who plays a steady Freddie third base, I can tell you that. He's like a vacuum cleaner down there gobbling up those balls. Food sampling, booths and displays, show vehicles, and other attractions all coming up next Friday night. Commercial characters. It's all free. It's all for you from 4 to 9 o'clock next Friday night outside of Turn 4 in the hospitality area at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is Food City Family Race Night coming up from 4 to 9 o'clock next Friday night. Again, free for everybody, and that's always a good thing. You get a chance to hear that magic word called free. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll be right back with more. We'll take a look at high school baseball. We'll take a look at high school softball from yesterday. The Elizabethton Lady Cyclones get a big win. We have some personnel changes going on at Crockett and the girls basketball program. We have personnel changes going on at Elizabethton High School with the athletic directors or co-athletic directors. We'll tell you all about that right after you hear this from Max Medicine Mart, show number 722 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medicine Mart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where natural factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax in Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-Fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
And back again with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Our great friends, Chick-fil-A. Again, those chicken minis are out of this world. Breakfast again at Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. High school baseball from yesterday. Dobbins Minute Volunteer got postponed because of wet grounds. It went into 9 innings, but Science Hill defeats Tennessee High 6-5. Daniel Boone doubles up Crockett 6-3. As we told you, Elizabethton behind Lawson Wagner. Some great pitching in the last-minute scratch by Evan Carter. He takes the mound and gets a complete victory. 13-3 in 5 innings for Lawson Wagner. Great timely hitting from Corey Russell and Evan Perkins and Ryan Wetzel. And again, the Cyclones win 13-3 in 5 at Happy Valley. Other games, Sullivan East beat Johnson County 4-3. South defeats Central 9-2. University High Oliver Cloudland 15-0. Unaka takes 2 from Providence Academy 4-1 and 6-2. And the Hampton Bulldogs turn back North Green 3-2. Again in boys high school baseball. In Southwest Virginia, Abington 4-0 over John Battle. Gate City Lehigh got rained out yesterday. Eastside over Rye Cove 26-1 in baseball in 5 innings. Union over Ridgeview 13-2. And J.I. Burton beat Thomas Walker 6-5 in 8 innings. So the standings look like this right now in the Big 7. Science Hill at 6-0. Dobbins Minute in second place at 4-1. Three Rivers Conference, Unicoi County 5-1. Sullivan East 4-2. Don't look now, but here comes the Cyclones. They're 3-2. Watauga Valley Conference, University High 4-0, and Unaka at 3-1 in high school baseball again for the standings there. Today, here's what we've got going on. It's going to be a cold, blustery day. Cherokee at Sevier County, Sullivan Central at Sullivan South, and the remake or the home and away game. This will be at South tonight. Granger, University High, Cloudland at Mount Heritage, North Carolina, Lebanon at J.I. Burton, and Sullivan North across state lines take on the Gate City Blue Devils, all, of course, weather permitting. In softball from yesterday, let's take a look what's happened there. It was Elizabethton shutting out Unicoi County in the battle for the Three Rivers Conference lead. Lady Cyclones 3-0 over Unicoi County. We're going to talk to Coach Harden tomorrow. Dobbins Minute 2-1 winner over Twin Springs in softball. Crockett beat Tennessee High 10-4. It was Sullivan East defeating Sullivan Central's ladies in softball 13-6. Unaka shuts out University High 9-0. And Cloudland beat Sullivan North in 6 innings in softball 12-2, the final there. In Southwest Virginia, Gate City's Lady Blue Devils all over Lehigh 13-2. Ridgeview shuts out Union 2-0. And Lebanon, the Lady Pioneers beat Patrick Henry 19-3 in girls high school softball. So the standings now, Big 7, Science Hill 4-0, Daniel Boone at 1-0. Three Rivers Conference, Elizabeth now on top of the leaderboard at 4-0. Unicoi County right behind them at 4-1. In the Watauga Valley Conference, the Lady Rangers of Unaka on top right now at 5-0 in that particular conference. Softball today, Daniel Boone plays at Tennessee High. Gate City's Lady Blue Devils will be in Elizabeth in 5:31 pitch. Unicoi County will be at Johnson County. Happy Valley at Cloudland. And Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars playing at Sullivan North at 4:30 this afternoon. And girls high school softball in Virginia. Gate City at Elizabethton, Ridgeview at J.I. Burton, and Twin Springs at Central in Southwest Virginia. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, want to tell you about a couple of sports stories involving our local coaches and local situations. And that would be Marty Story stepping away as the head basketball coach of the Crockett Lady Pioneers. Again, moving on. He is a former basketball player and star player at East Tennessee State. Says he wants to go back to college and graduate. Certainly understand that. So, again, Marty Story stepping away from the Crockett girls basketball team to, again, pursue his personal path in life, if you will. 49-year-old Story, 7 years at Crockett, 4 of them as the varsity head coach. And so they will look immediately, of course, to begin the search for a brand new coach at Crockett High School. Also at Elizabethton High School, recently announcing personnel decisions having a major effect on the athletic program. School has removed Mike Wilson and Eddie Pless as Cyclones co-athletic directors. The decision was made Monday. Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury has been conducting an investigation into the alleged misuse of school funds. Director of Schools Corey Gardenauer said they've made employment decisions based on what we know thus far. We will continue to cooperate fully with investigators throughout the duration of the investigation, end quote. And so Mike Wilson and Eddie Pless removed as co-athletic directors at Elizabethton High School, pending a continuing investigation by the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury conducting an investigation into the alleged misuse of school funds at Elizabethton. And so Mike and Eddie have been removed as co-athletic directors at Elizabethton High School. So tough story there. I'm a fan of both of those guys, and so I'm not sure what all's going on. All I'm giving you is what I know, and that's they've been removed as co-athletic directors at Elizabethton High School, Mike Wilson and Eddie Pless. Tom Taylor Sports Show, quick break. We'll be right back. We're here live again on this Wednesday. We are, as always, on Wednesdays, more times than not anyway. We are live here again at Chick-Fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. And we'll take a break. Be right back right after you hear this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications and 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to be in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building at Bristol Motor Speedway talking NASCAR. We are, oh boy, we're inside of, what do we got here? Down to next Friday is Bush's Beans Pole Day. So we're looking, 9 days out? 10 days away from the Saturday racing, 11 days away from the Food City 500. And so we'll talk more about that when we get there tomorrow. Can't wait. Take a look at Major League Baseball coming up here in a few minutes. Again, Daniel Norris pitches today, his season debut, opening debut for the Detroit Tigers. 1:10 first pitch against Kansas City in Detroit today. So good luck to Dino. 1:10 first pitch. They'll be off. We'll be off by the time he gets started, but we'll certainly let you know how he does tomorrow. So good luck to Daniel Norris. Let's take a look at the NBA. Teams that are in have qualified for the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Toronto, Boston, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Philadelphia, Indiana, Miami, and Washington all in. Got to have 8 teams in each conference, so there's 7 for sure and 2 more to decide it. That would be Milwaukee and the Detroit Pistons. Those 2 teams playing for the final playoff spot in the East. So Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, Philadelphia, the Pacers, Miami, and Washington are in, and Milwaukee and Detroit are battling for that last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. In the Western Conference, much different, a wide open situation. 3 for sure, Houston, Golden State, and Portland are in. And then you've got 7 trying to get into squeeze into the final 2, or the final 5 playoff spots, I should say. 7 squeeze into the 5, including San Antonio, Utah, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, New Orleans, Denver, and the LA Clippers all are still alive in the Western Conference. So 3 for sure. They take 8 in each conference. So again, 3, 6, 7 teams in the Western Conference trying to squeeze into those final 5 playoff spots against the Spurs, Utah, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, New Orleans, Denver, and the Los Angeles Clippers all trying to still get in to the playoffs coming up here very soon. So from last night, Cavaliers, we told you about LeBron, again eclipsing Kobe Bryant, his 942nd 20-point game. Cavs win by 6 over Toronto. That could be a preview of the Eastern Conference Championship. Beat them 112-106. Philadelphia, 26-point win over Brooklyn at home. Orlando goes into New York, beats the Knicks with 24. It was Miami, a 3-point win at home over the Hawks. The Bulls win by 6 at home over Charlotte. Milwaukee, a 4-point winner over Boston in Milwaukee. Washington, the Wizards in Houston. Rockets got them by 16. Golden State, the defending world champions, wins by 4 on the road at Oklahoma City. Dallas wins by 6 at home over Portland. Utah with a 7-point win, 117-110 over the Lakers in Utah. Denver, 3-point winner over Indiana. Phoenix, a 3-point winner over Sacramento. And the LA Clippers defeat the San Antonio Spurs last night in the NBA on Tuesday. Tonight, got a good one. Boston 53-24 in Toronto at 55-22. That may be a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. So Toronto plays Cleveland and the Celtics back-to-back, both right on top of the Eastern Conference, and of course qualify for the playoffs. Other games tonight: Dallas at Orlando, Philadelphia and Detroit, the Hawks hosting Miami. Also tonight, Memphis and New Orleans, and the Lakers hosting the Spurs at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And that's the NBA for this Wednesday, April the 4th. National Hockey League last night. Predators lose on the ice to Florida 2-1. Preds fall to 51-18. Florida improves to 41-30. Other winners last night: Columbus skates past Detroit. New Jersey skates past the Rangers. Islanders, a 5-4 winner over Philadelphia in New York. Winnipeg, 5-4 winner over the Montreal Canadiens. Boston and Tampa Bay, the Lightning, 4-0 win over the Bruins in Florida. Elsewhere, Arizona skates past Calgary 4-1. It was Vegas in the shootout, 5-4 over the Canucks in Vancouver. And it was Dallas doubling up San Jose in the Shark Tank, 4-2, the final there. He's here, yay! And then for tonight, a light night in the National Hockey League. It was skating tonight. Ottawa skates at Buffalo, Chicago skates at St. Louis, and Anaheim. The Ducks have been home against the Minnesota Wild. We've got him. We're ready to go. Come on in here and sit down, young'un. Get him on the screen while we got him. Our buddy Jeremy Livesey from Movement Mortgage. We'll let him get settled in. We'll get him on camera right after you hear this from Champion Chevrolet on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax in Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medismart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where natural factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart. Our great sponsor at Sprint, giving you a chance to save at all Sprint stores across the Tri-Cities. When you go into any Sprint store and say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, they'll give you 25% off or a fourth off any accessory in the store. That would include Urban Armor gear cases, OtterBox cases, any screen protectors, tempered glass, 25% off. Wireless charging stands, pop sockets, tablet cases, wireless chargers, battery packs are all 25% off when you say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball. Also, Beats headphones, both the headphones and the earbuds, 25% off when you say you heard the show. Also, 3-piece magnetic organizers, battery packs, tablet cases, JBL portable flip speakers. It goes on and on. Anything accessory in the store at any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities, say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show and or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, and save 25% off today at your Sprint store across the Tri-Cities.
course, 25% off anything you get at Sprint Accessories, and we appreciate those folks very much. We're live here again. We're on the road at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. It is busy in here at Chick-Fil-A. It's always busy in Chick-Fil-A. There he is. Look at him. Hey. What a handsome rascal. Cut off his head a little bit. There you go. There's my man, Jeremy Livesey. Morning, sir. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here.
Busy.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are here.
It's we have a bustling place here.
Yeah. It's happening. It's hopping, to say the least. So
like Christmas.
It is. It's almost like Christmas, almost like Black Friday in here. So anyway, always appreciate him coming by. Get that tail a little bit more so we can both get on the screen. So, all right, let's start NBA. Last night, the argument is Michael Jordan, all-time greatest player.
Yes.
Another era. We've talked about this before off air. So now you look at a guy named LeBron James, continues to inch up in every statistical category in the NBA. Is this guy, or can he be the greatest all-time, where it's all said and done?
No.
Okay. It's still going to be Michael J.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's based on rings.
Based on rings and based on, I think if LeBron played in the Western Conference right now, it would be a different story. But in, the past, the recent history here, the Eastern Conference has been weak. So it's really easy to be the big fish in a small pond. So if he played out west all these years, it'd be a different story.
There you go. Yeah. So, as you can see, we're getting ready to talk about the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Eastern Conference is pretty well nailed down with the extent they got one slot to fill between Milwaukee and Detroit. The Western Conference only got 3 for sure, and they've got 7 teams trying to squeeze into 5 slots.
Yeah.
So that tells you it's a pretty competitive conference.
It's a different world over there.
Yeah. So anyway, LeBron last night, he missed it earlier. Hit the 20-point mark for his 942nd time in his career, which is incredible.
That's pretty good.
Passing Kobe Bryant. Now he's third on the list. I wonder who the all-time person is. I bet it's Jabbar. It almost have to be since he's all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
I guess probably Michael's second. I don't know. I couldn't pull it up quick enough to get it here to the show. But hello to Gary Taylor. Hello to David Strickland. Hello to Donna Bryan. Hello to Bill Patrick. Appreciate you kids being with us. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So last night, Cavs get a big 6-point win over Toronto, 112-106. Toronto turns right around tonight and goes back home to host Boston. So they got 2 toughies in a row. So who's the best team in the Eastern Conference right now?
Right now, Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Who is their big stud? You follow the.
Well, I actually don't follow them very much. I've been following most of with the Cavaliers, but they've got a good team. I've watched them play a few times this year, but I've been more watching Western Conference this year, watching the Rockets and Golden State and all that. I said I go to bed late sometimes. So that's what's starting up when I'm heating it up. But last night I watched a couple games was on last night. The Thunder played last night. They look pretty good.
So who's the big gun for Toronto? Because I have no clue. I guess I should, but I don't.
I forget his name.
Okay.
Is it DeRozan or something?
They've got a good team. I have no clue. The Raptors, 55-22, losing. They're 55-23. They'll be at home. Actually, they're 55-22. They'll be at home against the Celtics tonight. So the teams that are in: Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Indiana, Miami, and Washington. The two teams still trying to get that last spot are Milwaukee and the Detroit Pistons. Who would be a dark horse in that group right there if you had to pick
one? If I had to pick one in that whole thing, honestly, I think if they get in Milwaukee, but I think they've got the Greek Freak. He's good. But as far as the team that's in there, probably Philadelphia. They're young. They don't know better. It depends on who they actually play in the first round. But I think the Eastern Conference is pretty much set, though. It's going to be between, I think, either hopefully if Toronto plays like they're playing in the regular season, they'll be fine. But if they play like they've been playing in the playoffs the last couple of years, they'll be out in the second round.
There you go.
So it may end up being Boston and Cleveland again.
So you got 3 or 4 good ones. It's going to be an interesting Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it will be.
There's a lot of parity there. Now, the Western Conference, again, the defending world champion Golden State and Houston and Portland are in. The 7th trying to get into those 5 slots would be San Antonio, Utah, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, New Orleans, Denver, and the Clippers. 7 trying to get into those 5 spots. Read this morning where the Spurs will not win 50 games for the first time since 1999. So
Leonard's kind of shot him down now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
I don't think he's coming back.
No. Now they're starting to talk about going to other teams.
Yeah.
So.
When they start talking about trading him, that's not good.
No, and I'm not sure what's going on, but I know Popovich ran out of patience.
Oh, yeah. I think he ran out of patience. The All-Star break. Yeah.
Yep. In fact, he came out earlier this week and said apparently there's a group of people handling Kawhi Leonard, said when they let me know what's going on, we'll proceed.
He was back in New York last week.
Yeah. So I don't think Popovich will. He
won't put up with it much longer, but I think he realizes that the future of that team is Kawhi.
Yeah.
So he's kind of hamstrung there with the fact that he's got some older players, and the one that's going to make him, for longevity of his job is in New York right now.
Yeah. Going through rehab.
Yeah.
Continuing ongoing rehab. So, Houston, Golden State, Portland. Is Golden State good enough to defend this year? They're in trouble.
I think they're fine. Yeah, they just got a lot of injuries right now, so if they can get through the first round or so, they'll be fine. I see them and the Rockets probably in the finals of the Western. So, Rockets are good.
What's the status on Curry?
He'll be out through at least the first round of the playoffs.
So he's still not back yet.
They're used to having injuries on Golden State, so I don't think it's going to be much different for them.
So Houston, the deal.
Houston's good.
Who's your MVP this year? Harden?
Oh, probably Harden.
LeBron?
LeBron won't get it just because they're tired of giving it to him. So if he played on a team in the Western Conference like he is now, he would already won it. But yeah, Harden will win it this year.
All right. Houston, Golden State, Portland. Yeah, there's kind of a dark horse. Trailblazers. Yeah, they play some good basketball in the Pacific Northwest.
The problem you'll see with Portland, though, is if, depending on how the playoffs stack up, if they end up playing against like OKC or something in the first round, they may not even make it. Because OKC's coming through pretty good. They look pretty good.
So if you had to pick a all-star team, first top 5 guys in the league right now, who would you have? Who would you have on there?
Probably
anybody.
LeBron.
Top 5. LeBron?
I'd take LeBron. I would take Durant.
All right.
I think who else would we take? If he was healthy, I'd take Harden. Probably Westbrook.
Okay.
And we need another point guard, so let's see.
Well, I should have prefaced it saying any 5. I don't care what position. Give me the 5 best players in the league right now. LeBron. Excuse me, James Harden, Kevin Durant,
and Curry, I guess.
Russell Westbrook's what you said?
Yeah, Westbrook, I'd take him, and I'd probably take Curry.
Curry?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the Freak?
He's good.
It's kind of tough to give you this 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I watched this story on 60 Minutes. Very impressive. Yeah.
We're talking to our buddy Jeremy Livesey from Movement Mortgage, so suffice it to say, you're rocking right now.
We're staying busy.
We're watching the phone go beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, that's all it's done. It's
I think it's binging all the time. I love it.
It's been a while.
One of our great sponsors here, of course, on the show. We're at 7:22 as far as the show, and we've hit over the 1,000. Got a little notice from Facebook says, I don't know what this means, says you're legitimate now.
Who's that?
Facebook.
Who said that?
Facebook did yesterday.
Said I'm legit?
No, I'm legit.
Oh, you're legit.
Yeah, because I'm up over 1,000 likes. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means.
It means you're legit.
And the followers, like 1,100 followers. So I get this thing from Facebook says, congratulations.
You're legit.
I'm legit since I've hit 1,000.
Like MC Hammer. Yeah.
I don't know if I like being compared to MC Hammer.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. All right. You are rocking. Whitney had a birthday. Brittany had a birthday.
Brittany had a birthday.
Yep.
Yeah.
21. Happy birthday.
That's what she says.
Oh, yeah. I heard that last week when I was there.
I think it's different, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe not quite. A little bit of a stretch.
There's a 2 in there.
It's just not going to be the first digit.
Yeah.
No, I got you. So anyway, happy birthday to her. Tell me all about Movement Mortgage. What's going on? Who you helping so far? And what are people looking for right now?
We got a lot of first-time buyers coming out. Looks like since it's warmed up, and I guess technically, wedding season starting here soon, and we got a lot of people wanting to buy their first home, and so once they get married and stuff, they're all, happy in their new home.
Oh yeah.
And so we got a lot of young people right now, so which is good, and people that were scared to buy probably in the last couple of years are finally, taking the initiative to buy, which is good for us.
Coming up top of the hour, we'll have Greg Sauer talking Major League Baseball. Tanner Cook comes along here in a few minutes from Johnson City Press talking sports. Tomorrow, Bruton Smith Building, Bristol Motor Speedway, and then Friday will be at Food City and Volunteer Parkway for the big 3-day sale starts tomorrow. We're talking to Jeremy Livesey, our buddy again from Movement Mortgage. So the age-old question, is there anybody out there you can't, I know you work with a lot of folks, anybody out there you can't help? Is there anybody out there who's just not viable?
Yeah, people basically that have either just brand new credit, don't have a whole lot of credit. People with low scores, I mean, anything under like 600 you really can't do much with right now, and unless they have a lot of money. And so money kind of trumps it a little bit. And then if they've got a current mortgage right now, if they've got lates on it, you may have some issues with it just because getting a new mortgage versus an old mortgage, if you're not making the payments on it, they kind of frown on that. But we're pretty lenient when it goes to, I mean, we're realistic. So we see, if there's a reason why something happened, we can legitimately say that this is a feasible reason why it happened. Usually we can get through it.
VA loans, you like them? Tell me.
I love them. Yeah.
You love to do VA loans. A lot of folks don't want to touch them, but you're all about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's more paperwork, but they're easy loans. And the rates are pretty good right now. The rates have been climbing over the last little bit, so I mean, it's turned into a purchase market now, which is good. And right now the VAs are fantastic. And the rates are a little bit lower than your normal conventional rates, and there's no mortgage insurance.
For folks out there who don't know what or who would qualify for a VA, who fits that bill?
You got some different options. So you got active duty, people who've been in active duty. If you've been reserves for at least 6 years, you can do that. If your spouse was a active duty or a reservist and they qualified, then they can actually, if they pass away or something, you can actually get their benefits. So, plenty of options.
FHA loans, know about those?
FHA loans, less down payment, so 3.5% down is your minimum. The credit score requirements are pretty reasonable. They'll go down to about 600, below 600 if you've got a really good, clean file. And the mortgage insurance is pretty cheap on that too. So if you can put 3.5% down, you can still get in cheaper in rent.
Always like to hear who he's helping. So last time you were here, you said you had a couple moving in from California.
Yeah.
You had some folks coming up from Florida.
Had some from Illinois. Got a lot of people right now we're dealing with are local, but we've it's been kind of a change here lately, I guess, since it's warmed up. I don't think we have any out-of-towners, so they're all local right now, which is kind of a blessing, so they can actually come by and see us at the office and bring us stuff and not have to worry about faxing and emailing and stuff like that. So actually get to know them a little bit better.
Are folks downsizing or expanding, or both?
They're downsizing.
Okay, a lot of folks downsizing.
Yeah. A lot of families are expanding depending on the situation, if they're having kids, but most of them are buying smaller houses. They don't want to deal with having to clean it.
671, tell me about that. It's awesome.
671, we have a 6-hour turnaround for our underwriting time, and then 7 days for the processing, and then 1 day to close. So given that, if everything falls into place, you can close within 10 business days.
Wow. Yeah. I remember back in the day when I bought mine, it was like, went through the process and waited, I don't know, it seemed like 4, 5, 6 days. Maybe even longer. I mean, it just took forever.
And we're getting new technology. It's going to be even quicker. So
really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, tell us about Movement Mortgage. It's a branch here, but they're all over the country, right?
Yeah, we're all over the country. We're based out of Charlotte, and we are a faith-based company, which is good. So we do give back to the community. We have charities, different mission trips that we do throughout the year, and we do have a charter school in Charlotte now that we sponsor, so helping the kids with underprivileged kids, and doing a lot to give back to the community, which no other mortgage company that I ever met actually does that.
Faith-based, so you're always giving back. You're giving back here in this community too, right?
Oh,
you guys are? Yeah. And so Jeremy.Livesey at movement.com.
That's my email.
There you go. That's the new one. I need to write that down so I can change the commercial. Jeremy.Livesey
at movement.com. Shoot me an email if you need any help, or go to my website and do an online application.
How's Mrs. Livesey doing?
She's good.
Very good.
She's working right now, so she's not listening to us.
We hope.
At least if she is listening to us, she may not be working.
There you go. If she's listening, there's a red flag.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there's a reason why she's working.
If she's listening, we got issues. Yeah.
Jeremy.Livesey at movement.com is where you'll find him. And so, how many folks you got there now? How many agents? He's the manager, runs the
We're
place.
interviewing new people as we speak, but until we find a good fit, we're good with what we got.
What kind of person? That'd be a good question. What kind of person would be somebody that would be good to help you?
Really, we're hiring high character people. So basically, we want people with experience in the business, but we also want people who aren't just looking for a paycheck. We want people who are ready to give back to the community, ready to make this a lifestyle, not just a job. And it's hard to find. So, but they're out there.
Those who are looking just for a paycheck don't last long, do they?
No, they do not.
No. Anywhere, really.
No.
You get out of what you put into it, so if you're just going to come in and ride the wave, you won't be there long.
Yeah, in our business, if you take care of the client, the money will take care of itself. So, but a lot of people, they see what they're making per deal, and it kind of, hampers their ability to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeremy.Livesey of movement.com. So, right now, so when do the playoffs start? A couple of weeks?
17th, I think.
17th of April?
Yeah,
A couple of weeks, that's what I thought. So, if you had to stop right now and say, here's your team's going to win the Eastern Conference, here's your team's going to win the Western Conference, who would you pick?
Right now, if I was betting money, I really think it'll be Toronto and Houston.
In the finals?
Yeah.
All right.
I would love to see that, actually, just to have something else to watch.
Somebody different?
Yeah.
Toronto and Houston finals.
Yeah.
On 4/4/18, we'll see. Of course, that can change, but just as of right now,
yeah.
both are playing some really good basketball.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So Cavs don't have the horses to do it this year?
They're just not consistent. I mean, it's like they have 5 different teams that show up. They don't know which one's going to show up every night.
Yeah, they run hot and cold. So, now is their coach back? I know he was
there, but not coaching the other night. So, and he ain't back full time yet.
Stepped away from medical. Larry Drews, the interim coach for the Cavs. So,
yeah, and that's a big deal for them, I guess.
Yeah.
LeBron didn't have somebody to tell what to do.
Yeah, just another guy to say, here's what we're going to do.
Exactly.
He goes into the huddle and says, here's what we're going to do.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much what it had.
And
what happens.
Tyronn Lue just probably, I mean, I haven't watched the bench, but he probably just sits there and lets LeBron do everything.
Yeah.
I would.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jeremy.Livesey at movement.com. You hungry?
Yeah, I am actually.
All right, go get something and get back to work. I appreciate you.
No problem.
And we're coming there in a couple of weeks to your crib, as they call it. Love coming out. It's one of my favorite stops.
It's quiet.
Big, roomy. I got everything spread out, and I do. It's like, you got stuff everywhere. Well, yeah I do. It's a lot of sports.
Nice and quiet. And
it is peaceful.
Yeah.
New location, new digs, right across from the Cracker Barrel on Boone Street. Again, Jeremy.Livesey at movement.com is my man right here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Greg Salyer's going to be here talking Major League Baseball. Again, Daniel Norris pitches today. His season debut at 1-10 against the Royals in Detroit. We'll talk about that on all Major League Baseball coming up next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. your one-and-done location in Kingsport. 247-5.
Our great sponsor at Sprint, giving you a chance to save at all Sprint stores across the Tri-Cities. When you go into any Sprint store and say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabeth and Cyclone Baseball, they'll give you 25% off or a fourth off any accessory in the store. That would include Urban Armor gear cases, OtterBox cases, any screen protectors, tempered glass, 25% off, wireless charging stands, pop sockets, tablet cases, wireless chargers, battery packs are all 25% off when you say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabeth and Cyclone Baseball. Also, Beats headphones, both the headphones and the earbuds, 25% off when you say you heard the show. Also, 3-piece magnetic organizers, battery packs, tablet cases, JBL portable flip speakers. It goes on and on. Anything accessory in the store at any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities, say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show and or Elizabeth and Cyclone Baseball, and save 25% off today at your Sprint store across the Tri-Cities.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's chicken minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. How about that? Look at that. Rolling right in, right on time with his big Tennessee shirt on. Look at him. Putting the headsets on.
Hey, Tom.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, is it busy out there trying to get into the place?
Yeah.
There you go. There's my man, Greg Sally, the Major League Baseball update. Perfect timing. I was just getting ready to say, we'll have him on in a few minutes, and a rascal shows up. That's good. We like that. So how are you? Everything good?
Yeah, things going well.
Yep. So same here, and we appreciate you coming by. Now, I have. See, you got here quicker than I thought you were going to get here. I have somewhere. Talk about him pitching today. Before we get started, that would be my man, Daniel Norris, on the hill today for the Detroit Tigers. We want a good performance by him.
Yeah, we would love to see Daniel have a good outing today, and the Tigers need it as well. They got swept to open the season by the Pirates, and they've not looked the greatest so far. So hopefully Daniel can have a good outing out there on the mound and keep them competitive, and maybe they can score him some runs as well today.
They have not exactly set the woods on fire coming out the gate, right?
No, they haven't. They played some good games against the Pirates. Thought they were going to pull out at least one win there, and of course, Pirates came back and pulled off a walk-off on them. But so hopefully they can get some things on track, and hopefully Daniel's going to be a key part of that for the rest of the season.
Hottest team in baseball right now.
The hottest team in baseball right now.
I guess. Let's do
they just lost to the Braves, but I think the Washington Nationals are really a team to watch. I watched their first 3 games against the Reds, and they were just dominant. They've got the pitching, they've got the hitting, they've got everything that they need right now. The first game of the season I was kind of questionable because the score was 2-1, and Bailey pitched a good game for the Reds against them. But the Nationals really look good. I think Bryce Harper is really going to have a fantastic season this year. He's a free agent at the end of this year, so typically, the guys will crank it up in that particular year, and I think that's probably what he's going to do. He hit 2 home runs in that series against the Reds, and I think the Nationals are definitely a team to keep your eye on this season.
Have you ever had something just disappear?
Oh, yeah, it happens to me all the time.
It drives me nuts. I just had it. I was shuffling look here.
There it is.
Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, sometimes I think I lose my tail if it wasn't tied on to me.
Oh, yeah, it happens.
Don't feel bad?
Yeah, don't feel bad at all. It's not just you, trust me.
Okay, all right. So let's go down and take a look at the starting pitching probables today for the Braves. And you got the Nationals, Max Scherzer. And who's pitching for the Braves? That would be
Fulton Evans. Yeah, Fulton Evans.
Fulton Evans.
Yeah.
The Rays and the Yankees, it's Blake Snell for the Rays and Luis Severino for the Yankees. Daniel Norris, the Tigers, hosting Danny Duffy and the Royals. Noah Syndergaard against Aaron Nola this afternoon. The Phillies and the Mets. What's your take on the Mets coming out of the block?
The Mets are looking pretty good. I picked them, I think, second in that division. I might have picked them third. I think I might have even picked Philadelphia ahead of them. And we'll talk about the Phillies in a little bit. But, the Mets are looking really good. Their pitching's doing what they need to do. I think if they can stay healthy, they can finish there. I don't see them beating the Nationals if the Nationals are still running on all cylinders. But I like the way the Mets are looking so far.
Hello to Andy Thaxton watching up in Charleston, West Virginia. Hello, young lady. Hope you're having a great day. Dallas Keuchel, world champion Houston Astros against Dylan Bundy and the Orioles in Houston. What do you think about the Astros coming out of the gate?
Yeah, the Astros, they are just awesome. I mean, they're Correa gets hurt, messes up his toe, and comes back the next game that he's able to play in and hits an inside the park home run. So, a guy with a bad toe, you don't expect an inside the park home run, but that's what happens. So, when things are going well for you, things are just going to go well for you, and that seems to be what it's going to be like for the Astros again this season.
Dodgers and Diamondbacks, these are all day games. Alex Wood against Patrick Corbin. Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Dodgers out of the gate like you thought?
No. I mean, who would have thought Clayton Kershaw would be 0-2?
Exactly.
I mean, didn't expect that at all. And, Arizona's doing kind of what I thought they might do, but not the Dodgers. They're playing under the radar right now, so they're going to have to pick it up a notch if they're going to finish where I think they will at the end of the season.
Well, hello to Ms. Lambert watching today. Thank you. I always appreciate her being with us. Also, Thomas Dillard and Elizabeth and Gary Taylor, David Strickland, one of our frequent guests, Science Hill soccer coach and the coach of the Tri-Cities Otters. Also, Donna Bryant, Bill Patrick, Renee McNeil, some of the folks. Again, we're going to tell you how to get qualified. We've got 12 states in the running to win tickets to go to Bristol next week. We'll tell you about that coming up here, how you can add your name to the list of qualifiers here in just a few minutes. If I can find it, I guess it'll be a needle in a haystack, too.
Is that, maybe here somewhere.
It drives me. Oh, it's here. I had it earlier. Indians and Angels. Corey Kluber, this afternoon affair in L.A. against Pujols and the boys. They got a big one last night. Was it 13-5?
Yeah, 13-5, I think it was. Yeah.
And a home run derby. Kluber against Tyler Skaggs this afternoon, Indians and Angels.
Yeah, with Kluber on the mound, you gotta really think that Cleveland's going to play well, and I think I would probably, if I was going to have to make a decision in that game, I would probably go with Cleveland to be the favorite today. But the way the Angels have been playing, don't count them out.
Night games tonight: Twins and the Pirates, the White Sox and the Blue Jays. Carson Fulmer against Aaron Sanchez, White Sox, Blue Jays. The Mariners and the Giants. Felix Hernandez for the Mariners and Johnny Cueto for the San Francisco Giants. How the Giants done coming out of the blocks?
Cueto pitched a good game, his first game out, and the Giants are 2-3 right now, and they could be right back at 500 after tonight, and let's see what happens. I like that matchup. I think that'll be a great game to watch. Hernandez and Cueto on the mound.
Well, your boys, the Cardinals. You don't like me say that. The Cardinals and the Brewers. They go at it again tonight, night game in Milwaukee. It's a little cool tonight in Milwaukee, and Cardinals and Brewers, what do you think coming out of the Central Division?
The interesting thing, I don't know if you've mentioned this or you saw this about last night's game. Something that had never been done in Major League Baseball history was done in that game last night between the Cardinals and the Brewers. The Cardinals opened the game with back-to-back home runs, and the Brewers finished the game with back-to-back home runs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Never happened in Major League Baseball history that had happened. A game had started with back-to-back home runs, and then it ended with back-to-back home runs. Of course, the second one for the Brewers was a walk-off.
And that decided it, of course.
That decided it.
The Brewers.
That was it. It was Ryan Braun.
They're the real deal?
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
They're legitimate, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they are. I think the Cubs better watch out. I picked the Cubs first in that division. I watched them play against the Reds the other day, and Tyler Mahle shut them down. I mean, he pitched a great game as a 23-year-old for the Reds, and I didn't really see a lot in the Cubs that I thought I would see. They're going to have to step up if they're going to be where everybody thinks they'll be at the end of the season. But I think the Brewers are for real, so look out, Cubs. The Brewers are coming.
2 other games, Texas at Oakland tonight, and the Rockies and the Padres. It wraps up the schedule for this Wednesday, April the 4th. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. Tomorrow we'll be at Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building. And then on Friday we'll be at Food City in the Volunteer Parkway, helping to kick off the big 3-day sale, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at all Food City locations. So you've got the numbers for Daniel Norris right there over his Major League career. He's a 12-12 pitcher. Give us the numbers of what he's done so far.
Yeah, he's pitched in 54 games. 45 of those are starts, and 4.35 ERA. You'd like to see that number under 4 if possible, and he's very capable of doing that. So I think that that's something that he will probably do sometime in his career. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for last season, his ERA probably would be under 4 for his career. In 3 years or 2 years, 2015 and 2016, his ERA was. In 2015, it was 3.75. In 2016, 3.38. But then last year, that 5.31 got him.
It ballooned on him.
Yeah, it did. So, he would have a winning record if it wasn't for last season. So, hopefully he can turn things around and, put up some zeros on the board for the Tigers.
I think he has an advantage pitching today in the day. Of course, Detroit, we got a freeze warning here tonight, so from here on up into Detroit, in that area, it's going to be even colder. And so having the opportunity to pitch during the day today, Norris goes at it at 1:10, first pitch against Danny Duffy and the Royals in Detroit. It's got to give him a little bit of advantage because he's going to be playing in the daytime. For folks out there who don't know, right now, game starts at 1:10. What is the starting pitcher doing? Where are we? We are about an hour away from first pitch. So what is a starting pitcher typically doing right now before his assignment on game day?
He's probably long tossing right now in the outfield. Hopefully he just woke up from a nap. That's the key thing. They want to get a little bit of rest before, and then they go out, they long toss.
And tell some for folks out there who may not know what that means. In layman's terms, what's long toss?
Okay, so he'll get loose, and then he'll go out to the outfield and, throw some balls maybe 150 feet or so just to strengthen the arm. And pitchers typically will do that every day. That's their throwing day. And that's the one thing that a pitcher will do that will strengthen his throwing arm and make him throw even harder. But they do it all the time. They do it before they go to the bullpen then and really work on their pitches from the mound before the game. So that's probably what he's doing at this point in time. And then he'll end up in the bullpen probably in about 15 minutes or so and work on stretching out a little bit more and then start throwing some pitches off the mound and getting loose for the game.
So I'm in the locker room eating a bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Eat some Nutty Buddies, a glass of milk or something.
I was usually down there in the bullpen catching those guys while they're doing that. That's the only way I know about all that. But.
Yeah. Former catcher and a good one too at Tennessee High. Talking to our buddy Greg Steiner.
Couldn't hit
a lick, but you can catch, couldn't you?
I could catch.
Just no offense, all defense.
Just couldn't hit. Yeah.
Of course. Hello, Mrs. Larimer. How are you? Yeah, there you go. That's all I need to see. Pick up big deep breath. It's been a day. Yes, ma'am. I know exactly where you're coming from. We're talking to our buddy Greg Salyer. So again, Norris gets on the mound today. So at a typical game day for folks who've never been to a big league baseball game, the teams themselves are taking batting practice, right? Taking
right.
They're taking infield. And what time? How far out do they have to be to report to the stadium?
It depends on if they're going to do some early hitting. Guys like Joey Votto, for a day game like you were talking about, he'll be at the stadium at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. He'll be out there doing some running. He'll be in the cage, hitting off a tee. Read a thing this morning actually about Tony Gwynn, saying that Tony Gwynn was known to hit off of a tee 365 days a year while he was playing for the Padres. Never took a day off hitting off a tee. So the good thing about that is, they can work on pitches in different parts of the strike zone with the tee in the batting cage, and they'll do that. Then they'll take some pitching, maybe with a pitching machine, or maybe a live pitcher there in the cage, and usually a pitching machine. But just to get their timing down with different speeds, different types of pitches, and they'll work on that for a little while before they even go in and put the uniform on generally, and then go out to take live BP on the field with their rotation. So that, of course, that depends whether or not they're the home or their away team. Home team usually will take their batting practice first, and then the gates will open up. And if you're going to the game and you want to go early for batting practice, you usually will see the visiting team take batting practice because the home team's already finished by the time the gates will open.
Let's break them down real quick before I let you go again. Coming up next, Tanner Cook's going to join us with his Montana Grizzlies shirt on. I like it. That's cool. Don't see many of those around here. That's neat. All right.
Is that a Wyoming hat with a Montana
Grizzlies and a Wyoming Cowboys?
Yeah, look at that.
His heart's in the.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to him coming up here in a few minutes from the Johnson City Press / Kingsport Times News Sports Department. Red Sox 5-1 in the East. Chicago 2-2. Cleveland 2-2. Minnesota 2-2 in the Central. And Houston 5-1 out of the gate, leading the West. Interesting, that Central Division, 3 teams, 500.
Yeah, I think Cleveland's going to end up pulling away there soon, but Minnesota will stick with them. But I don't see the White Sox staying with them. They're one of the top 2 teams in the division for a while. But yeah, Detroit and Kansas City is going to be behind, I think, this year. And I think realistically that's where they're going to be.
In the NL East, Washington out of the gate 4-1, Mets 3-1. Central Division, Pittsburgh undefeated at 4-0. That's a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. We didn't see that one coming. Of course, Pittsburgh, now they're playing Minnesota, so they got a little bit more, I think, of a challenge against them than they did in the opening series playing Detroit. But, I thought that would be a good series against the Tigers, and it was. Interesting that Pittsburgh is playing their first 2 series of the season against the American League. Somebody's got to do it, so they happen to be the team. But you wouldn't have thought 2 series in a row, but that's where they ended up.
So the Reds traveling today. They open up against the Pirates tomorrow.
Yeah, anxious to see that, to see what happens there in Pittsburgh. Homer Bailey's going to be pitching. They had the rain out yesterday. They were supposed to be playing the Cubs a 2-game series. Second game there got rained out. Cody Reed was going to be getting that start, and they've pushed him back. He's not going to be starting the next game. Homer Bailey will be on the mound against the Pirates. Of course, that's a team that he threw a no-hitter against a few years ago, and I think he did it there in Pittsburgh. I know he had one of those no-hitters away. The other one was against the San Francisco Giants, and I believe that one was home, but I believe the Pirates, when he threw, was on the road. So, yeah, interesting to see what will happen there in Pittsburgh with the Reds and the Pirates.
Western Division of the National League, Arizona out of the gate at 3-1. Colorado and LA at 2-2, so it's early. Actually, the Dodgers are 2-3. It's early, obviously, but hello, Jules Roberts, watching the show. Thank you very much. We're live at Chick-Fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. It's lunchtime. Was it busy trying to find a place?
Not too bad. It's a little bit busy trying to get in the parking lot, but once I got in, I found a space. But there were about 3 spaces out there, so you can come on out if you're looking for a space.
Yeah.
There'll be somebody leaving probably before too long.
It's room for you in the drive-thru and room for you, of course, here in the lobby.
Yeah.
Although it's lunchtime and it's busy, but it's always room for you here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. You want to talk about the Phillies a little bit, right?
Yeah, let's talk about the Phillies for just a second. They have a new manager, Gabe Kapler, and a lot of people are not aware of what's been going on with Gabe Kapler in the last 10 years or so. When he was 32 years old, I think it was 2007, he actually managed a low single-A team in the Boston Red Sox organization. Because a lot of people are saying, okay, here's a guy who comes out of nowhere to manage the major leagues. He's never managed before. Well, he has managed before. He managed one season as a 32-year-old, decided after a season of managing he was not through playing. He could not stand not playing. And at 32 years of age, you can't blame the guy because he's in peak physical condition still today. I mean, if you look at him, it looks like he's carved out of granite. But here he was, 32, managing. Decided to come back and then played for about another 5 years after that. And then the Phillies say, well, let's sign him as our manager. He did not have a good season. Let me put it that way. In 2007, I think the team might have finished about 400 or something like that. They were close. I know that they were. They might have been right under 400 winning percentage, that team. But Philadelphia takes a chance on him. They bring him in, and he's shown, I think, from the beginning, he's really going to have to learn to manage his bullpen. In the first 2 games of the season, I think he used something like 11 pitchers. And, that's hard. The first time ever in Major League Baseball history, a position player pitched in the second game of the season. And that happened for the Phillies. He also had the debacle where somebody on his staff, whether it was him or the pitching coach or who, forgot to tell one of his relief pitchers to warm up. And he goes out to make the change, and the guy's still sitting out there in the bullpen.
Whoops.
Yeah. So, when the fans started screaming about that one, he was a man. He said, hey, he said, we blew it.
Yeah.
We blew it. He said, and you have every right to be mad at me over that because that was stupid on my part.
So he goes out to get the starting pitcher and looks at the bullpen and brings somebody in and goes, uh-oh, we don't have anybody warming up.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
Because nobody made the call down to get somebody ready.
Exactly.
So the fans are all over him, and he said, the best way to do it is just do what he said. Look, okay, shoot me. I made a mistake,
Yeah.
All right,
And the Phillies fans are pretty tough anyway.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I don't know if you've ever been to a game in Philadelphia. I have.
They're brutal, aren't they?
Oh, my. I was there in '93 when the Phillies, they lost the World Series that year to the Blue Jays. But I was there to see them play 2 games against the Montreal Expos. Phillies were a powerhouse. They were awesome. Mitch Williams was the closer. When he would come into the game, the place went nuts. They played Wild Thing, and he didn't run in from the bullpen or even jog in. He strutted to the mound, But I remember one of those games, he got in a little trouble, and man, those fans were on him like you wouldn't believe. And and maybe rightly so. He pulled it together and got the save.
They'll turn quick on you, huh?
Yeah, they will. They will.
Oh, yeah.
So, you don't want to mess with fans in Philadelphia. And I think Gabe Kapler's learning that. Hopefully, first week of the season, he's learning his lesson. And, hopefully somebody's going to help him out a little bit with how to manage his bullpen.
There you go. Anything else you want to leave us with today?
I'm just excited the season's here. It's we look forward to it. We talk about all the trades, talk about where the guys are playing, talk about all that. But now they're playing ball, and it's just great to go in at night, turn on the TV, sit back and relax and watch a game. And I don't relax when I'm watching the Reds play, but I sit down the other day and I turn on an Astros game, and I sat there and just relaxed. And watch that game, and it was just wonderful. So I'm just glad baseball's here, and we're excited about where everything's headed.
There you go. Get you something to eat. You hungry?
Yes, sir. Always hungry.
Good man. See you next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back here next week. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll go from baseball to anything and everything. My man Tanner Cook's in the house. We're going to hit him with a lot of topics right after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Right after you hear this from Champion Chevrolet.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax in Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medismart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy Natural Factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where Natural Factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart. Our great sponsor at Sprint, giving you a chance to save at all Sprint stores across the Tri-Cities. When you go into any Sprint store and say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, they'll give you 25% off or a fourth off any accessory in the store. That would include Urban Armor gear cases, OtterBox cases, any screen protectors, tempered glass, 25% off, wireless charging stands, pop sockets, tablet cases, wireless chargers, battery packs are all 25% off when you say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball. Also, Beats headphones, both the headphones and the earbuds, 25% off when you say you heard the show. Also, 3-piece magnetic organizers, battery packs, tablet cases, JBL portable flip speakers. It goes on and on. Anything accessory in the store at any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities, say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show and or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, and save 25% off today at your Sprint store across the Tri-Cities.
We're back live again to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look right there. Look at that rascal. That's our buddy, Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press Kingsport Times News. So, how many times? Hello, Londa Whittakin up in West Virginia. How are you doing, young lady? Watching the show. Dr. Barry Walton, Max Medicine Mart, of course, Natural Factors. Just heard the commercial on sale all month long. We'll be over there in a couple of weeks, broadcasting live from Max Medicine Mart. Love Max Medicine Mart. Love all the folks over there. Tom, do you think Coach Witten will be offered the job at Dobbins Minute? I have no clue. Julie just sent me that. That interview process, by the way, interesting segue. Mm-hmm. Interview process will begin, I think, the first of next week. There are 9 candidates to be the head football coach at Dobbins Minute, and Sean Witten is one of those. That has been confirmed. So he is one of the candidates. We'll be interviewing for the job, and so we'll see. Hello, Ms. Londa. How you doing? And so she's watching up in the hills of West Virginia. We are joined by my man, Tanner Cook. So that's a good segue right into the Dobbins Minute coaching job is open in Kingsport. Mm-hmm. The girls basketball coach job is open at Crockett. Mm-hmm. That happened yesterday. Marty Story steps away. Mm-hmm. The girls basketball coach at Sullivan South is open from last week. Mm-hmm. Tori Hale stepped away. So there are some openings. And then, of course, we saw I was shocked to see the story that both Eddie Pless and Mike Wilson have been removed as co-athletic directors at Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, that was big.
An investigation into alleged the keyword, excuse me, misuse of funds. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm shocked with that.
Oh yeah, I had heard about the misuse of funds early yesterday morning, and I thought it was just probably some administrative stuff, but when I saw that, Doug told me first that the athletic directors had been moved, I was completely shocked. I know Mr. Pless fairly well, and he seemed like a pretty good guy to me, and then I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, lots of openings, and of course the DB football coach is the most interesting, and the rumor going around that Coach Witten over at Elizabethton is really wanting that job. I'd like to see him get it, but it's anybody's guess right now. Apparently there's a lot of different names coming around. There's a few coaches from Knoxville, too, that are in the mix.
9 candidates will start the interview process, I believe, the first of the week, mm-hmm. and they'll make the decision. Of course, Joey Christian, the interim coach. Coach Clark stepped away after 25 years, so you got a coaching job there. You got a girls' basketball job at South and Crockett. Mm-hmm. How tough will those be to fill, I should say?
Coaching jobs are never easy to fill, especially coming off of a good season like South ended up having. And Marty Story did a good job there the first few years. And, of course, like he said in the interview this morning with Jeff in the paper, it hasn't been good the past couple of years, but there's still some talent there. I watched them a little bit. There's a good freshman on the team. Her name is Emma Gooch. She's a pretty good player. there's some good underclassmen. So there's something there for Crockett. I only saw the South girls a handful of times, but judging by their record, they had a pretty good season to finish it out. So there's some. It'll be difficult to fill them, but I think they'll find the right people.
I'll also add on the follow-up to Eddie Pless and Mike Wilson, as it is with anybody, they're innocent until proven guilty. They've been removed from their position, and so the investigation's ongoing about alleged misuse of funds in the athletic department at Elizabethton. So the director of schools, Mr. Gardenauer, Corey, removed Eddie and Mike from the positions, but again, out of fairness to them, they're innocent until proven guilty. So that's all we can go on. I'm from one are shocked, but hopefully it'll turn out for good for everybody, all parties involved. About all I can say, because I am beyond shocked and stunned. Quite frankly, I haven't been around those guys the last 2 years, working in and around them. So, but again, it is what it is. We deal with what comes down the pike. So. We're talking to Tanner Cook, so let's take a look at baseball.
Right.
Science Hill, obviously the real deal. They and Dobbins Bennett playing some great baseball.
Yeah, Science Hill is the last two nights when they beat Tennessee High I thought Tennessee High was probably the best team around here. They averaged like 14 runs a game or something like that. It was some computer or video game number that they were putting up for runs a game, and then Science Hill beat them last night in a walk-off, and then I think they beat them pretty bad the day before over there at Tennessee High, and it was just that's pretty awesome because I thought Tennessee High was the best team around. DB's pretty good. They had a couple losses last week to a really good Abingdon baseball team. They're always solid, but DB's right in the mix there with Tennessee High and Science Hill. Science Hill, I think, is still undefeated in the Big Seven, if my
you're right.
If my memory serves me correctly.
6-0.
Yep. They're pretty good. They got a good pitching staff. That's probably what's been the real key for them.
In answer to your question, they beat them 14-2 on Monday night up at Bristol. And last night they beat them at Cardinal Park, 9 innings, 6-5. So Science Hill stays unbeaten in the Big Seven. So. Again, the standings look like this. Science Hill 6-0, Dobbins Bennett 4-1, Cherokee 4-2, Boone at 5-3, Tennessee High now 3-2, and Volunteer and Crockett are over. They're yet to win games in the Big Seven conference race. Three Rivers, Unicoi County 5-1, Sullivan East at 4-2. Here's the team to watch. I can say this because I'm calling their games, and they're getting better every game. They swept Happy Valley. 3-2 Elizabethton. 3-3 Sullivan Central, 3-4 Sullivan South. Happy Valley now at 1-4, 1-3 rather, and Johnson County at 1-4. So the Three Rivers, Unicoi County, Elizabethton East. It's going to be an interesting race.
I haven't seen too much of the Three Rivers this year, but I saw Elizabethton the other day, and they are a pretty good baseball team. Coach Preston's got that thing rolling. Like you said, they're getting better every game. They got a really good infield. They got a solid pitching staff, solid lineup just about every night. But their infield is what is the real key for them. They are a big time contender when they field the ball cleanly, and when anybody fields the ball cleanly.
Nick Johnson at first, Ethan Eggleston at second, Corey Russell at short, either Lawson Wagner or Carson Dillard at third defensively, typically for the Cyclones, with Perkins behind the plate's got a cannon. So Elizabethton again at 3-2, and they are now 8-4 overall. Our next broadcast, by the way, will be, weather permitting, big asterisk because this rain's coming in here this weekend. We're due to play Jeff County, a good AAA team, on Saturday at O'Brien Stadium. Then he said we may move it to Friday, and there's rain on Friday too, so I don't know when we'll play that game, but that's the next one up on the schedule for Jeff County and Elizabethton. Watauga Valley Conference, University High 4-0, Unaka 3-1, Hampton 4-2, North Green 2-4, Sullivan North 1-3, and Cloudland 0-4 in the conference right now in baseball.
UH is by far the best team in that conference. I've seen them 2 or 3 times this year. They're the real deal. That Casp Blevins, he threw that perfect game the other night against Cloudland, and it was they are a really good team. They got a good infield too, but their pitching staff, they got a couple of guys that can just throw it. And when Cass, who's their number one, is on the mark, they're really hard to beat.
Softball, Northeast Tennessee Big 7, Science Hill 4-0, Daniel Boone 1-0, Crockett 2-1, Dobbinsville at 2-2, Tennessee High at 1-3, and Volunteer and Cherokee have yet to win a game in the Big 7 softball, and pretty solid up top of Science Hill.
Yeah, I still think Boone is probably the team to beat in that conference. They've done really good over the past few years. Science Hill's pretty good. Haven't seen them yet this year. Seen DB softball a little bit. Seen Boone softball a little bit. It's still pretty early in the softball season here in Northeast Tennessee. Of course, with some rainouts and that East Tennessee Classic getting canceled a couple weeks ago really hurt some teams. But it's still pretty early in the season, and I really haven't seen much else of softball this year. So it's kind of hard to tell right now.
TomTaylorSports.com. Here's where you can go and get qualified to win tickets to Bristol Motor Speedway. We're giving away on Monday. We've got the list here. We have states, Tennessee, 12 states represented, which is pretty cool. I'm very proud of that. Tennessee, Ohio, South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Alabama, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, California, Texas, and Florida. 12 states all told. If you're in one of those states or another state and you haven't qualified, shame on you. All we need is first name, last name, the city from which you're from, and your email address, so we can notify you Monday, and you'll be able to pick the tickets up again at the ticket office at Bruton Smith building on the grounds of Bristol Motor Speedway next week to send you racing. So see if I can rattle off some of these names here real quick. Let's see. We'll give you a couple more, and then we're going to get into some more softball. Here is Tracy in Kingsport, Eugene in Greenville, John in Warren, Ohio. In Ashford, Alabama is Brian. Lancaster, South Carolina, Carol has qualified. From Plain City, Ohio, Tracy. From Orange Park, Florida, Melinda. A lot of ladies wanting to come to Bristol. From Greenville, Tennessee, Eugene. April in Kingsport. Kyle in Liberty, South Carolina. And Craig in North Ridgeville, Ohio. Brian in Ashford, Alabama. Fayetteville, North Carolina is Justin. So some of the folks there, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Good luck, and we'll announce the winners. Multiple winners to go to the Food City 500, and also multiple ticket winners going to the Zombie Auto 150 and the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 a week from Saturday. So
Bristol's next week, right?
Yeah, next week. Yep, ready to go for racing at Bristol Motor Speedway a week from Friday is Bush's Beans Whole Day. Three Rivers Conference softball. Elizabethton 4-0, Unicoi County 4-1, Sullivan East and South at 3-1, Happy Valley 2-4, Central at 1-5, and Johnson County 0-5, and another really good conference race in softball.
Yeah, Elizabethton beat Unicoi yesterday. Huge win for the Lady Cyclones, and they come back today and they play Gate City. I get to watch that game, cover that game. That'll be a really interesting non-conference matchup because Gate City is traditionally very good in just about everything. Softball's not an exception, and they're pretty good again this year. So this should be a pretty good game in softball today over at Elizabethton.
And then the Watauga Valley Conference, Unaka at 5-0, Cloudland 2-1, North 1-2, and Hampton North Green and University High yet to win in softball. So right now it's Unaka's Lady Rangers on top.
Unaka, when it's all said and done, could have one of the best softball teams in the area. They are loaded. They got a lot of seniors, and Kenneth Chambers, who coached the basketball team, the girls basketball team, to that state win in the first round over Wartburg. He's the softball coach, and he told, I think it was Doug, that their softball team is going to be pretty good this year. So I'm not really surprised at all that much.
In soccer, Dobbins Minute last night beat South 5-0. Tennessee High beat Crockett 4-1. Cherokee shuts out Volunteer 4-0. Who's the daddy rabbit right now in high school soccer around here?
It's really hard to tell. I've seen DB a couple of times. They beat the last time they played that I saw them. They beat Farragut, who was a really good team coming out of Knoxville. They beat them 3-2, and they were down at the half. And Farragut beat Science Hill a few days earlier, 5-0. So high school soccer can go just about either way. It's like baseball. I think Science Hill is still the best team until proven otherwise, to me at least.
Major League Baseball, the Evil Empire. How's your Yankees doing right now?
Well, blew the last two games of the first weekend series against the Blue Jays when Robertson and Betances blew back-to-back games. It really don't understand that. I thought starting pitching was going to be the real Achilles heel for the Yankees this year, and looking like now that the bullpen's not too strong. But I don't expect anything to come of that because Robertson and Betances are just too good from the bullpen to really blow up consistently, and I think that's one of the first times that Betances has blown a save in a while. Of course, yesterday Didi Gregorius had a huge day with 8 RBIs, 2 home runs, but everyone was mad at Yankee Stadium and Giancarlo Stanton struck out 5 times. So
and they booed him.
They booed him, yeah. I even heard one fan on some reactions on Twitter saying they want him to go back to Miami. I mean,
wow.
I mean the guy hit 2 home runs in one of the opening games at Toronto, and you already want him to go back. And people are already saying Aaron Boone's an idiot for taking pitching to Justin Smoke and letting Donaldson walk when Smoke hit the second home run and I think it was against Betances in the third game on Saturday, and the fans were not happy. But it's just one of those things. You don't know that Smoke's going to hit that second home run. I wouldn't pitch Donaldson either.
Way he goes. I mean, you take for all intents and purposes, you kind of take the fans out of the equation.
Yeah, you do.
Most of them don't know what they're talking about. I hate to say that, but proof's in the pudding. I mean, all you got to do is go to a high school basketball game and listen to some of the people and some of their comments. You're thinking they've never played the first game. It sounds like, but yet they're up there screaming and hollering, so they kind of zone them out. Here's an update. Middle of the second inning, Braves lead the Nationals 3-1 in Atlanta. Early start to that one. Daniel Norris, Greg and I talked about this earlier. Daniel Norris pitches today for the Detroit Tigers against the Royals. 1:10 first pitch. Coming up in about 35-40 minutes, he'll go on the mound in Detroit.
Yeah.
We want him to do good.
Oh yeah, we always want Daniel to do good, but if he gets the win for the Tigers, it's only their second win of the season, something like that. It'd be good, a highlight for the Tigers in their early season, even though they might end up being one of the worst teams in the league and probably one of the worst teams in the Central, and that's saying a lot for the Central.
There you go. Shohei Ohtani got his first home run with the Angels.
We didn't see this in spring training. He looked like he was just sluggishly getting through spring training, and now he pitched a pretty good game for a few innings, and now he gets the home run off of his first at bat. Ohtani might be the real deal. This might be what the Angels wanted with all that money that they spent, and maybe this will be the year for the Angels to try and get that West out from under the Astros.
Here's a breaking story. You'll like this one. Out of Canton, Ohio, an Ohio Youth Baseball League is raffling off AR-15 semi-automatic rifles and other guns for a fundraiser to reduce registration fees. The East Canton Youth Baseball Association will raffle off a bolt-action hunting rifle, a 12-gauge shotgun, and a handgun during the league's Youth Picture Day on April the 29th. An AR-15, a civilian version of U.S. military rifle, has drawn national attention, so they're going to raffle this off. I can only imagine what's going to be the feedback to this. The Ohio Youth Baseball League raffling off an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle and other guns for a fundraiser to reduce registration fees. You got to know that they're going to go nuts over this in Canton, Ohio. So
no comment.
Wow. So, Baseball League President David Spencer said families aren't required to sell raffle tickets. He said winners pick up their weapons at a gun store and are subject to background checks, hoping to generate between $1,500 and $2,000.
I think they can.
I guess the days that donut sales and car washes are gone. We're selling rifles now. Holy smokes.
Can we just go back to the car washes?
Holy smokes. Anyway, that's not a makeup. That's a true story coming out of Canton, Ohio. So, The Evil Empire is currently mired in third place at 3-2, and it's very early. Ahead of you are the Blue Jays and the Red Sox in the American League East. Boston plays later on today. Is that correct, or do they travel today?
I can't remember.
They travel today. Traveling today, and they'll be opening back up tomorrow. So what's your take on the opposition right now, the dreaded rival, the Boston Red Sox?
It's early. You really can't tell much right now. Tanaka somehow got a win the other day. I didn't expect that out of him. As long as the lineup, besides Stanton, Judge, and Sanchez, are hitting, that's all I'm concerned about. Because Stanton, Judge, and Sanchez, they'll eventually get theirs. Even if Sanchez doesn't play as an everyday catcher, he's going to get his. And even if Stanton doesn't play every day as the DH, he'll still get his, or whoever plays the DH between Stanton and Judge. But Gregorius getting those 8 RBIs last night was, it's not unexpected, but it's a shining moment there, because the question mark was really guys like Gregorius and Jacoby Ellsbury, who somehow constantly stays hurt, and the rest of the lineup. That was really going to be the question mark for the Yankees going into the season. But of course, the starting pitching is the biggest question mark. But the other thing is going to be, now we're all wondering, what's wrong with the bullpen. But I think it'll eventually work itself out. It's going to be 6 games into the season after today. They played Tampa Bay at home. They beat Tampa Bay 11-4 yesterday. I think they'll win today, but it depends on how the lineup's hitting. And they beat Archer yesterday, so that's big.
We're talking to Tanner Cook, giving Johnson Depress Kingsport Times News. Switching gears, college football. What's the very latest when you're hearing at East Tennessee State with the Randy Sanders fiasco?
Tom, me and you talked about this the other day at the Elizabethton game. We can't use the words we said on the air, but
no.
It's this is about one of the this is in my mind, it's kind of ridiculous, because what happened to the old days where coaches would get up in your face and actually coach you instead of sitting on the sideline and be like, yep, good job. Just clap their hands. They'd actually get up in your face and grab you by the face mask and direct you around with your face mask.
Sure. I've seen it happen all the time.
Heck, some of the players thought that the helmets were used to protect you from the coaches.
It's part of it, and I know that sounds like macho. I don't know how it comes across when I say that, but as I said yesterday on the show, and I will say it again, there's been times coming off the field when they smacked you upside the head for a job well done.
Yeah.
Not as a punishment, not as something they're upset with, but an interception, a touchdown, a big play, big sack, big something that merits a rewarding comment. In this case, hit him upside the helmet or pat him on the helmet as he comes off the field. See it all the time. Going by, they pat him on the helmet and go, man, nice job. Or come out on the field, give him a high five, and then pat him on the helmet. So, again, I keep going back to the allegedly hit. And hit's very subjective, as we talked about the other day.
Yep.
What you think is a hit, what I think is a hit's two different things. And then it was alleged. And then, of course, the other part of the equation seems to be getting forgotten, that he did not do what he was supposed to do. And so he did not take a knee during a drill like he was supposed to. So I think it was probably an attention getter from Coach Sanders.
Yeah.
So the problem I see with this, and I've said this for 3 days now, I'm going to stick by it, is now, if you're Randy Sanders, everything he's going to do from here on out is going to be under a microscope. Do you want to fool with that? I keep thinking the guy's going to leave. I don't know why. I have nothing to base that on, but, everything you're going to do now is going to be under a microscope all day long. Every time you yell at somebody, it's almost like you can't be who you are, because you got to kind of tiptoe, because, gosh, if I yell at them, am I going to get in trouble? If I go up and give them a high five, is that going to be misconstrued? So all of a sudden, he's really got to be playing a lot of defense.
Joe had a great column this morning.
Yes, he did.
It really explained to the readers that, Randy should keep his job, because this is, in all honesty, this is no big deal. If if you saw every coach in America do this, every single one of them will lose their job because of the stuff that they do. In my mind, it's just, it's a
here's what you want to read right
yeah,
there.
Exactly. It's something that, I mean, I played football for 4 years, and I got hit upside the helmet. I got yelled at.
Sure.
It's not a big deal. It's
part of it.
It's the world that's coming to, and it's the game that we loved as Americans, and loving college football and pro football and all that stuff. It's the game that's coming to. It's like you can't do anything now.
We're soft.
You're soft. It's
Sure.
like Joe said in his
We're a bunch of wusses.
It's like Joe said in his column. They're protecting the quarterbacks like they're ballerinas.
I mean, how do you go into football practice and you don't, or any kind of practice, not just football, but you can't yell at people now. You can't because they get their feelings hurt. No, I mean I don't get it. So the other part of this equation too is what to do to the clubhouse, what to do to the locker room, because this is going to be a polarizing event.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are going to side on the football player and say he was in the right to complain and report, or whoever did it. The other side of the equation is going to be folks going like you and I think this is ridiculous. We need to get back to playing football and put him back on the field as the head coach. Mm-hmm. So the question for me is going right down the middle, how's it going to affect the locker room for the football team?
Well, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. The former players that played for Sanders when he was coaching at the University of Tennessee and when he was coaching at Florida State, they had nothing but good things to say about him. They said he would never do something like this.
Yep.
So I think this is kind of what's what term I want to use? An isolated event, sort of. But I don't see him like that. I don't see him as someone that would purposely do something like that. I mean, it's like you said, it's an attention getter because the player wouldn't take a knee during a drill. That's what I think it is. And I think you're right that some people are going to side on the side of the player and some are going to decide on the side of the coach. Mm-hmm. But I think it will eventually come out that this was just like a violation of policy. That's exactly what it is, and it'll work itself out. And I hope that Sanders keeps his job because I think he is the right guy for ETSU going forward.
I hope he stays. I keep thinking this guy's going to make a phone call and go, look, everything I'm going to do now is under a microscope. I'm out of here. And that could be, that's a 50-50 shot that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't.
And the other thing that we can bring into this is, I don't want this to go into the issue, but you might have the issue of racism here, because I don't think it was an act of racism, but it can always somehow be brought back to that.
Well, and the other part of this too is, having played on teams before all my life in sports, and a guy gets everybody in trouble and got to run laps or whatever. Well, when you get in the locker room, we kind of wait till the door's shut and kind of take care of things. A little internal thing, a little, as they say, come to Jesus meeting, kind of get everybody's attention. So I'm wondering what this gentleman's, how he's going to be treated inside the locker room by the other guys on the football team. Some are going to side with him, some are not going to side with him. It's going to be interesting. Just put him back out on the field at the coach. That solves the problem to a point. But again, you got your blue gold game tomorrow night. Then you break for the summer. Mm-hmm. And what happens during the summer, and how's all that? How's the chemistry of the team? And it's like some pretty far-reaching tentacles, I think, into this program, far beyond whether you bring Randy Sanders back or not. I go into that locker room, and how does this football team react to all this, getting ready for the season going forward? And that's a $100,000 question.
Yeah. Nobody knows the answer to that question.
No, nobody does. But you better believe we're all going to be watching with a vested interest in the ETSU football program.
Bated breath.
With bated breath. There you go. My man Tanner Cook, are you hungry?
I am pretty hungry.
You're covering Gate City, Elizabethton softball today. We'll be able to read about that tomorrow, right?
Yes, and first pitch is scheduled for 5:30 over at Elizabethton High School.
There you go. Get yourself something to eat, my friend. I appreciate you very much.
All right, thanks.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after you hear this from Chick-Fil-A on the Tom Toa Sports Show.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's chicken minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax and Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. A few minutes left here. We'll be with you tomorrow from the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building, ready to go with Bristol Motor Speedway. Got a lot of folks there tomorrow talking about what's going on with the racing week. We'll give you a big news update. The Dash for Cash program is back. That's pretty cool, starting next week. NASCAR is bringing back the popular Dash for Cash, starting with Bristol Motor Speedway this week, or actually Texas, then rolling into Bristol Motor Speedway. And so, the popular Dash for Cash returning to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Full-time series drivers competing for a $100,000 top prize at each of the program's 4 events. Bristol, Richmond, Dover, and it starts this weekend. The Texas Motor Speedway will qualify for the first round of the Dash for Cash at Bristol next week. So, here we go. The top 4 finishing full-time drivers in this Saturday's Xfinity race at Texas will qualify for the first round of the Dash for Cash at Bristol next week. The highest finisher of the 4 at the Last Great Coliseum gets a $100,000 check. That's awesome. The Dash for Cash winner at Bristol and the top 3 full-time NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers at the end of the Bristol race, for a total of 4 contenders, will go on to race for the money at Richmond Raceway the following week. This format will continue for the duration of the 4-race program. Last year, Justin Allgaier won 2 of the $100,000 bonuses, while Daniel Hemrick and William Byron each collected a $100,000 check in the incentive program. And so, for the first time, Comcast will donate bonus money in honor of each of the Dash for Cash weekly winners to support a local community at the 4 race venues participating in the program, which will be Bristol Motor Speedway. Comcast will donate a total of $40,000 to local organizations on behalf of the company's Internet Essentials program. And so it all starts this weekend. Let me read it for you one more time. the Dash for Cash back for the Xfinity Series. In addition to Bristol, Richmond, and Dover, the Dash for Cash will also be available and in play for the first time at Talladega Superspeedway. So the top 4 finishing full-time drivers in this Saturday's race at Texas will qualify for the first round of the Dash for Cash at Bristol next week. The highest finisher of the 4 at the last Great Coliseum will earn a big $100,000 check. So top 4 drivers this Saturday will qualify for the Dash for Cash next week at Bristol. And again, the highest finisher out of those 4 at Bristol next week will get $100,000. Just that simple. So a lot more riding on the Xfinity Series race coming up, which is the My Bariatric Solutions 300. We'll talk to Mike Hedrick tomorrow and get a preview of racing this weekend in Texas. Again, Eric Jones, the defending Xfinity Series champ, and Jimmy Johnson, the defending Xfinity, or the Cup driver, I should say, at the racing in Texas from last year. So we will talk more about that coming up tomorrow. We'll be live at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. I want to say thanks to our guests, as always. Love having these guys on. Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times news sports writer. Greg Salyer, of course, with our weekly Major League Baseball update. And as we got it all going with Jeremy Livesey with the NBA look at the National Basketball Association, and we appreciate these guys very much. Out of time. Sincerely thank you for yours. Be sure to like and share the show. Archive it. It is archived. You can go back and watch, listen to anything, anytime on any of the shows. And so we'll rejoin you tomorrow, coming up again, as we said, from Bristol Motor Speedway in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building, getting ever so closer to racing next week, beginning on Friday with the Bush's Beans Fall Day. Next Saturday, a doubleheader, the Zombie Auto 150 and the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300. And then next Sunday, a week, we'll be right here, the 26th anniversary of the Food City 500, with Jimmy Johnson back to defend his crown from a year ago. So until tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Bristol Motor Speedway, this is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 722 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.